Hi everyone, Alex Wilson from the DBT Download with you again. So, today I want to talk about something I had somebody say to me this week, and it's happened before as well. They've said, Alex, how do I feel better? Right? How do I just, feel happier? And it's an interesting question. And I sort of went back to them and I said, so when you ask me that question, are you asking me how to feel happier in regards to get rid of all your problems? Or are you asking how to get through today in a positive way? Like what does that mean to you when you say, how do I feel better? What does that really mean? And the person sort of went, oh, I'm not really sure actually. So we kind of unpacked it. Um, Because when somebody says to me, how do I feel better? If you're asking me how to solve all the problems in your life, I mean, that's a big question, right? And that's going to take a lot of time. And you know what? New problems will come up. So I'm not sure that well, actually, I'm sure we can't eliminate all the problems in our life. We can't get rid of difficulty altogether. We can't get rid of distress. Now, we might be able to solve or minimize some problems. We might be able to minimize the intensity of some problems or the chaos associated with some problems or the consequences. But we're never going to be able to get rid of all sources of upset because part of being human is dealing with unpleasant emotions and triggers and other people and the world and all of the stuff. And it's not easy, like I get it. There's a lot of difficult stuff that we're trying to manage and deal with in our lives, and some people have more than others. But so if the question is, how can I fix everything? Well, there's no answer to that. And I'm not sure that's a good goal to pursue because I think you'll end up feeling pretty frustrated when you can't do it and overwhelmed trying to do it. So a better question, and what I said to this person was, well, what if we brought it back to today and said, well, how could I get through today without making things worse? Maybe that's a better goal. This person was having a rough day. You know, they had some stuff on that felt quite stressful, some stuff to do that felt quite hard, and you know, they were anticipating it was a difficult day. Stress was high. So, how could you get through today without making things worse? Because sometimes that is the goal. Sometimes we can't get rid of the difficulty. There was nothing that we could do in this person's life that would get rid of those triggers today, would get rid of those obligations, would get rid of the natural consequences of of this. So if they didn't do what was needed today, there would be bad consequences. And if they did do what was needed, it was going to be hard and it was going to be stressful. And there are plenty of days like that. So let's just lower the bar and let's think more about how can I get through without making things worse? So, how might I make things worse? Avoiding might make this worse. So, in this situation, this person had some stuff to do for their studies. And if they didn't go, there was going to be consequences. They were going to fail, they were going to get in trouble, maybe have to repeat. So, they needed to go, they needed to get it done. Avoiding would have made it worse long term. What else would have made it worse? You know, engaging in problematic behaviors. So for some people, that might be problem behaviors like substance abuse or self-harm or lashing out at others or isolating, withdrawing, you know, all the different things that we sometimes do when we hit overwhelm. All of these behaviors would make this situation worse because come tomorrow, this stuff is still going to be due. Now it's worse because you're late. But second of all, now you've done all these other behaviors that you then feel bad about, or you've got a hangover, or you've self-harmed, or other people upset with you. So now you've got pain on top of pain. Let's just not do that. Let's not add to the pain. So in order to not make it worse, what this person needed to do is that they needed to go and they just needed to get it done. They needed to be gentle with themselves and say, this is hard. They needed to use their skills to help regulate their nervous system. If you've heard me talk about tip skills, if you've heard me talk about skillful distraction and self-soothing, we need to use all of those skills when we're doing something hard so that we can stay present and get things done. So they need to do all of that and get through the hard thing. The goal is not to get rid of the hard thing because we need to do hard things. The goal is to increase our ability to do hard things. So I hope that makes sense. As always, reach out if you have questions or you want to talk more about DBT. Catch you next time. Bye.